Hello everybody and welcome to Virtual Church. Sorry, there's a little bit of hiatus there because I noticed that my microphone wasn't turned on. It is turned on now and we are here, albeit a little bit late, so I do apologise for the late start should I say. I've had to basically reset up the entire room because most of you will know I was in Lincoln recording the wonderful cathedral organ there. When I go away on these tours, I have to take everything in the room with me, all the cameras, all the microphones, all the cabling. The only thing I don't take essentially is the organ. And then setting it all up again here takes an entire day. And then of course, in the process of setting everything up, I realised that one of my GH5 cameras has decided to break. So I'm now streaming, I'm looking into my iPhone, that's normally a GH5 camera right there, but it's actually my phone, so that's a bit of a blow. Anyway, I hope we're here. And then the reason, the actual reason we started late was because there was no internet going up to the internet. There's no stream going up. Anyway, so fixed it, and we are here for a great evening of hymns, a top 5 this tonight by one of our favourite long-term listeners and live requests as well. So that Great is Thy Faithfulness was the way to start our virtual church this week, and that was voted for by you through the course of the week. You left comments on last week's virtual church, you voted and you said Great is Thy Faithfulness was your favourite hymn from last week. So next week we will do the same. So after the virtual church, leave a comment on the video with your favourite hymn from this virtual church, and I will start next week's virtual church with your favourite hymn from this week. The first request tonight is from Daniel Kubaki. Now, Daniel has requested a great tune, King of Glory, King of Peace. Now, I thought I'd start with Daniel's request, simply because tonight is a very special night for Daniel, because it's his top 5. He's been waiting very patiently.
Yeah, he's got some family members here. His mum, I think, is listening.
Hello, the Kubakis. And so we're going to have your top 5, maybe, well, after we've had these hymns, and we've got some very good hymns lined up for you. The King of Glory, King of Peace, I Will Love Thee. Words by George Herbert, of course, the great poet. I've got some new angles now, some new zooms and some new buttons to press. I'm spoiled for choice. If I'm honest, that hymn has a Welsh title. How do you come and say it? Do you know how to say this?
No. I don't speak Welsh.
Well, you speak more Welsh. You speak better languages than I do, including English.
I don't speak Welsh.
I don't know how to. I don't want to say it in case I offend someone. Now, speaking about offending people, the next hymn comes in from David, or who goes by the name of DCT Online, and it's Holy Jesus, how have you offended? That we to judge you have in hate pretended, by foes derided, by your own rejected, O most afflicted. A wonderful tune, actually for the season of Lent. I suppose actually Passiontide, but no, this is a great, wonderful tune. Herz liebste Jesu, harmonised by Bach. I don't think the tune's by Bach. Actually, Bach wrote relatively few chorales himself. He was a master at harmonising. There are a few chorales, tunes that he wrote, but I don't think this is one of them. So we'll have 3 verses of this gorgeous Lenten hymn. 3 verses. I don't know why there's a blank screen there for some reason. Just as a warning, Caroline now has control of the smaller Stream Deck, because I'm going to have two Stream Decks. So this is a new one. Look at the size of that. Look at all the text on there. That's a nightmare for someone with dyslexia.
I don't think my control is working though.
Well, don't press it now, because I'm talking.
No, I just did a boo for a joke, but I can't hear it.
Ah. Oh no. Oh, it works for me.
What? On mine?
No, don't press boo again. I don't want to be booed. Anyway, we're going on. Oh, we had a very serious hymn there. We can't have boo after a very serious hymn.
Well, you can. They're booing, but they're booing Jesus, aren't they? He's on the cross and they're all booing him.
Well,
So it's probably quite appropriate, actually.
we should, be booing, Pontius Pilate for not sticking to his guns and his gut instinct. Anyway, King Laudrup is up next. Who's requested a great hymn and a great tune, is what he says. And the tune is called San Rocco. Now, as I find it, I'll see if anyone knows what the text is to San Rocco. I'll give you a few seconds.
Bobby knows.
Meow.
She's just flicking her tail. She's not giving too much away, but she knows.
Okay, so the words are, give us the wings of faith to rise within the veil and see the saints above, how great their joys, how bright their glories be. The normal, as we know, there's no normal tune to any words, is there? Because, it's all down to personal perspective. But the tune that I would associate with these words is this. Let me know whether this is the one that you would associate with it as well. Called Song 67 by Gibbons. The tune that King Laudrup wants is called San Rocco by Derek Williams, and it's a really beautiful tune. It's in the key of D flat major, no less, and starts on a chord of B flat minor. So that's good ingredients for a fantastic finished product there. It's a very sort of striking tune, this. So I'm going to play it with a bit of a bit of majesty, a bit majestic. Let's get some choir into the mix like that. There we go. Let's have a listen to this. Knick Knack, the Ernest Bullock tune. Do you mean the one that starts like that? Yep. Oh, she's off. She's off. You know the microphone's right next to your mouth,
Yeah.
and you're warbling away at full volume. How many speakers around the world now who just blown?
I don't know. You have to ask.
At least 239. So
At
that's
least I didn't sing the next
480
phrase.
speakers you've blown
At least
up.
I stopped at that phrase because it gets higher.
It does, doesn't it?
I didn't
You're
sing
right.
and see the saints.
Caroline is just singing an anthem composed for choir, SATB, with those words. I Stand Amazed in the Presence is a hymn which is coming up next. This has been requested by Benjamin Yao. The tune is called My Saviour's Love, and he asks, what does he say? So he says, I asked for some season-appropriate hymns, and here is one which that he believes that has not yet featured on VC before. I don't think it has. It is quite popular in America and probably the rest of the world. Oh, that's good. So the words and the music are by Charles Gabriel. And as I've said, it was called My Saviour's Love. I stand amazed in the presence of Jesus, the Nazarene, and wonder how he could love me, a sinner, condemned, unclean. How marvellous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be, how marvellous, how wonderful is my Saviour's love for me. 4 verses. Let's start with the choir trumpet before going off into all sorts of unknown directions. It's wonderful playing this Father Willis organ because only a few days ago, on Thursday night, I was playing another Father Willis organ in Lincoln, which is very similar to this. The organ in Lincoln Cathedral, which in England is in the sort of the north-east, Midlands east-ish, Nottingham, then east of there. It was one of Father Willis's last major cathedral organs. Salisbury was much earlier, but it was so nice having that cathedral organ to myself for a couple of nights, and with the home organist Geoffrey Makinson, and I got to know it. I played I think 7 hymns for you, Easter hymns. So you have to look out for an Easter hymn selection from Lincoln.
I bet it was loud.
I don't know what makes you think that.
Easter.
You guys know that I play Easter hymns quietly, don't you? Well, Thine be the glory, which is on the strings, no less. It was. Do you believe me? It was not, believe me. Right, let's go into this one for Benjamin Yao. Of course, Johnny B, if you have a tuba on the other side, that then makes the organ very much like Llandaff, because I'm sure, as you know, there is a tuba on the south side, or as you're looking at it, the right-hand side. Then on the left-hand side, or the north side of the case, there is an imperial trumpet. Is it called the imperial trumpet at Llandaff? It might be. So there are actually two. So yeah, you'd be very much like Llandaff. And that was fun, recording that organ as well. So I recorded two amazing cathedral organs in 2 weeks. So I feel very privileged to have been able to have done that.
And more in the pipeline.
There's
There's one very big one in the pipeline.
Is there? Oh.
Yeah.
Only one?
Well, one particularly.
I can think of at least half a dozen that are in the pipeline.
No, I know, but there's one particularly big one in the pipeline.
A big one?
Well, I'm not saying any more, but yeah, I would say so.
Well, that's lucky.
Bigger than Lincoln, I would have thought.
Yes. Well, so Carmen Foster, thank you very much for your tip just now. I'm actually playing your request. So it is on this day, the first of days. However, I couldn't quite find a hymn book with those words to the tune you requested, Got Si Dank. So the hymn that I will play, the same tune though, Carmen, is Spread, O spread, thou mighty word. Spread the kingdom of the Lord. Wheresoever his breath was given, life to beings meant for heaven. I think in your hymn, Carmen, there were 4 verses. So I will play 4 verses for you. This is Got Si Dank, a hymn which comes from the early 18th century, I think. Yeah, so here we go, guys. Spread, O spread, thou mighty word, or on this day, the first of days. Hello, Bobby. Just move the angle there so I can actually be on the screen. Not that you want to see me on the screen, that is. So I can't really see the chat tonight, unfortunately, so I have no idea what's going on.
Jerry Martin's
All I can
arrived.
see is about 1, 2, 3, 4 of the most recent messages.
Well, at least it's in a bigger font than usual, to be fair.
Well,
Normally it's
I
so
know.
small you couldn't see.
Is everyone having a good time? That's what
Yes.
that's what I'm
Having
bothered
a good
about.
time talking about Liz Rawsthorne and Ian Gardner are very thrilled that apparently Liverpool beat Man United 7-0 today.
7-0?
Which would explain the Jurgen Klopp emoji doing the rounds on the Balfour chat group earlier.
7-0?
Something like that.
That seems like something didn't go quite to plan there. 7-0?
Well, it did for Liverpool.
Yeah, well.
So that was in the chat. What else? Bobby, appreciation for Bobby, obviously.
Bobs.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm glad everyone's happy. Good to have you all with me tonight.
Yeah, I think everyone's happy.
So let's go on to our next request, which is from Alan Hunt. This is a hymn which I definitely don't know. I've never seen this before in my life. It looks like quite a modern hymn, a modern tune, but it looks like quite a reflective tune. So I don't know whether I'm clever enough to solo it out because it's very chromatic. So I need to focus on getting some of these inner parts right. So it's Lord of earth and all creation, let your love possess our land. Wealth and freedom, far horizons, mountain, forest, shining sand. May we share in faith and friendship, gifts unmeasured from your hand. Possibly familiar words because I was able to find these words to other tunes, including Westminster Abbey actually, which is obviously a very well-known tune. But this tune has been scanned and sent in by Alan, and it's called, I think it's called, Bednall. Bednall. I'll spell that. So Bennelong. Is it familiar to you? I hope so. Anyway, let's now have a listen to this. Ooh. So that was quite an out there hymn, wasn't it? Some interesting harmonies. Very interesting harmonies. I particularly like this, going into the last line. Here. And then there's F natural. There. Interesting, isn't it? Thank you very much, Alan, for sending that one through. Doesn't give any context of sending it on these. I think there was a bit of context on the email, which I should have printed. Silly me for not printing that. But there we go. So the next hymn, I think, will be a well-known one because I've slipped it in because it was relevant to today's readings. It's "Thou art the way, by thee alone from sin and death we flee, and they who would the Father seek must seek him, Lord, by thee." Gorgeous little tune there by Raphael Courtville, who was around from the 17th and 18th centuries. Words by George Washington Dunn. The tune was called St. James, and that was something that I requested. Okay, let's go. Oh, we have another. Oh, actually, no, we're not going to have that one.
Why not?
I didn't need to say that because we're having it later.
Aha.
James Mossop is up next. Christian, dost thou see them?
James is in the chat tonight.
James, good. Hello, James. How on earth are you, my friend?
He wanted to know if the big organ you'll be recording was one he's played in the past, and I said we couldn't possibly comment at this stage.
Right. That's nice. No, I've not got this hymn in my iPad for some reason. I do have quite a few organs lined up.
What would Hugo said about that? What would Hugo say about that? He'd say, "Uh-oh."
I know. Silly of me. I don't know
Hugo
why
loves saying, "Uh-oh."
I do
when
have.
Something doesn't quite go to plan.
Oh, it's not. Why isn't it in here?
Would you like me to help you look? What do you need?
It's not on my iPad.
Oh, I know which one it is in. It's in the smelly hymnal.
I thought it was in here.
It's in the smelly hymnal.
St. Andrew.
Hang on, let me get the smelly hymnal.
Oh, all right. Okay, whilst you're doing that, we had a request last week from Elizabeth Brown asking me if I could play Highland Cathedral. You've just knocked the camera there.
Have I?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Let's get the
Put it
smelly
back.
hymnal out.
Highland Cathedral, which I have been requested a few times to play this, but I've never had the music. So I can now play it. Yay. Whilst I'm playing this, Caroline will find the hymn for James Mossop. Highland Cathedral. This is the first on BIS. Thank you. Practical Lounge wants to tell us something.
Well, Orgelhaz says Highland Cathedral is sort of the national anthem of Cologne. That was an interesting fact.
The unofficial national anthem.
Yeah, unofficial, yeah. But it wouldn't. But a city doesn't normally have a national anthem, does it? Sort of
No, I suppose not.
city anthem.
I've heard it requested, and I know other people played it, and I see it sort of written down, but I've never played it myself. And if someone asked me to hum it or whistle it, I wouldn't have been able to have done so. So actually, it's very nice to have been able to have finally played it. So Elizabeth Brown, I hope you're watching, or I hope you're watching back.
I think she actually messaged in the chat earlier to say she couldn't make it tonight, but she would listen later, actually.
Good, that's good.
And we just had a moment during that hymn to remember various pets, particularly cats, that have passed on.
All right.
Various listeners' cats who are no longer with us.
Okay, what brought that on?
Just that piece is very moving. Apparently a bagpiper played it at Doug's father's funeral, I think.
Right.
So it got everybody remembering.
I think we're actually going to have I have two more hymns before we go into tonight's top 5, Daniel. So 2 more hymns included in this one. This is Christian, dost thou see them on the holy ground? How the powers of darkness compass thee around. Christian, up and smite them, counting gain but loss. Smite them by the merit of the holy cross. This is a hymn tune of two halves, very much two halves, and you'll definitely see what I mean. This is a request from James Mossop, who simply says, another great Lenten hymn. So that was the hymn tune was called St Andrew of Crete by John Dykes. Final words in the final verse. Verse 4 is, well, I know thy trouble, O my servant true. Thou art weary, I was weary too. But that toil shall make thee some day all my own, and the end of sorrow shall be near my throne. I always remember being a little bit creeped out by that hymn when I was a chorister, actually. I used to love it. It was very creepy. The first half was very, very creepy.
So staying on the pets theme, Bill very sadly lost his cat, Leah, a few weeks ago. But guess how old Leah was, Richard?
Ooh, cat?
Yeah.
23.
Oh, nearly 24.
Good age.
And then Tony Brooks said, anyone see the world record for a dog age has been broken. What's the world record, Richard? What would it be? The oldest dog in the world?
What, for a pug?
Oh, no, not a pug. A dog. Any dog.
A dog. 19.
30.
30?
30.
Must have been literally on its last
What
legs.
breed of
30.
dog? What breed of dog is
30?
the 30-year-old dog? Anyone? What breed is it?
Mid-sized one.
Well, I don't know. It's probably smallish. It's probably a.
Probably a cocker or something. Well, not a
Probably
cocker,
a
because
terrier or something.
they're crazy, aren't they, those sort of dogs? Run around.
It's got to be a small dog.
I reckon it's a lazy dog.
30.
What's the laziest dog? Don't say Bobby. Bobby is lazy.
I don't know.
Because I think if you're going to live until you're 30, you need to literally do nothing your whole life, but stay fit. But just don't use up all your heartbeats.
Don't use up your heartbeats.
So I think stay healthy, and then so a lazy dog basically. Right. So the final pre-requested hymn before we go into our top 5 tonight is "'Tis good, Lord, to be here. Your glory fills the night. Your face and garments like the sun shine with unborrowed light." Not to the tune that we might know here in England. I've chosen a different tune on purpose. I've chosen this hymn because this tune, according to the hymnary.org, is over in the in American hymn books. This is the more popular tune, so I thought I would just play this for the Americans. It looks like quite a nice tune, actually. Just a big shout out to James for your £10, Jerry for the a happy ice cube for a happy VC. Thank you very much for the 1999. Gregory Potter, Carmen, thank you very much. Nick Knack, and then a few members as well. Great. Good to see members coming every week.
Actually, Gregory Potter, if you're listening, you asked for 40 Days and 40 Nights with a harmonisation by Monk. I think we're struggling to find that, actually. We can obviously play 40 Days and 40 Nights, but I'm not sure. If you can elaborate any more on that.
If you could tell us which hymn book it's in.
Yeah, that would be really helpful, thanks.
Is it not the NEH version?
Well, I assumed it was, but not certain now.
Okay, we'll have a look around, see if we can find it. "'Tis good, Lord, to be here." Well, that was "'Tis Good Lord to Be Here" to the tune. What did I say it was? I've just closed it now. Silly, wasn't it? That's it. Swabia or Swabia, Swabia.
There is a bit of buffering actually.
Yes. Help, Ian, James. What's going on? Is the stream okay, or is the stream buffering? Doing this thing where it's just not sending up anything to the internet. I was doing this earlier. Oh gosh.
It's for everyone, yeah.
Right. I don't know. It's doing that. The only difference is this. I don't know whether that. I know that the camera's just gone off, but is that any better? Is it better? Let me know. If the camera's gone off, then I think it's this. It's actually the iPhone or this camera that's causing the issue. Are we back on? Let me know. Let's go back to go to me. Pass me your phone. Okay, it should catch it. I don't know whether that's fixed it. Hopefully. Oh God, got hymn books flying absolutely everywhere. Right, let's go into now into an organ piece, and then we'll have the top 5 requested tonight by Daniel Kubacki.
Maurice says it's fine now.
Fingers crossed. I think it's, for some reason, that is causing a bug.
So those
or
of you
something.
who are late arriving tonight, unfortunately one of Richard's main cameras has got a problem. We've had to sub out and use his iPhone for the talking camera at last minute, which seems to be causing us a few problems.
It does.
So apologies for that.
Hopefully we're back. Hopefully we're back. That's the fix. If it does it again, I'll just unplug the iPhone and plug it back in. Isn't that strange? Here we go. Here's a bit of Bach for you. Hope you enjoy this. It's very dramatic. And it was played at the end of the Queen's funeral. Cool. That's a bit of a dramatic piece, isn't it? Now, going into our, I don't know whether it's dramatic or not, but going into tonight's top 5, which comes in from Daniel. Daniel Kabaki will be familiar to you all. Daniel's been around for a long time, and Daniel has brought his family along for the ride as well tonight. So, hello to all of the Kubakis. Good evening, good afternoon. Let's start with number 1 in Daniel's list. So this is what Daniel says. This is what Daniel says as a bit of a background to this list. Let me just give me a very, very quick moment just to get the first hymn ready. And then I'll read it to you. Oh. There it is. Right, so after much thought, I have come up with this top 5. I was raised in the Roman Catholic Church. My mum loves to sing, and she passed on her love of singing to me. We have sung in many choirs at churches of different denominations over the years, so I was exposed to lots of hymns. This list will reflect that. I still sing to this day at my parish church in Delaware, where I sing bass in the choir, and also am a cantor. So in the first hymn is a spiritual. Daniel says that I love this spiritual. It is so moving. Its message is simple. With Jesus, anything is possible. It is. In the morning when I rise. In the morning when I arise. In the morning when I arise, give me Jesus. And then the refrain is simply, give me Jesus, you may have all this world, give me Jesus. And this is number 5 in Daniel's list. Hopefully now the audio and visuals have sorted themselves out. Thank you very much, Eileen, for your request just now. And also Douglas Foster, I missed that one. Thank you very much. Cool. I don't know whether that was played in an appropriate way there, Daniel. I hope it was. A bit similar to the St Andrew of Crete. Started off quite quiet. It felt like it wanted to be quiet. Then the refrain goes into unison for the first two notes at least. Bum, bum, bum. So I hope that was all right for you. That was the first hymn. Where do we go from there?
It's on your left-hand side.
Where do we go from there? We go to here.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
So, what does Daniel say? He says, I thought I wanted to learn piano back in the day before changing to voice lessons. All of my teacher's students had to learn one Christmas hymn to play in the Christmas concert. The one I wanted was taken, so I went with the first Noel as my second choice. I was so nervous, so I played the treble part and my teacher played the bass part. I was so excited at the end of the hymn that I added some extra notes that made a fun chord. I love this hymn, how it tells the story of the star, shepherds, and the three wise men. Well, I'll tell you what, Daniel, if by your logic of adding extra notes when you're excited in a chord, I'm excited all the time.
I think
because I'm always adding extra notes. Some of them are
should-
intentional, some of them might not be
You should
intentional.
perform this in the style of Daniel then and add some extra notes at the end.
I don't know. I'm not sure I could play the right chord. I'm sure Daniel would play it better than I am. So here we go then. I'll get a move on this one because it's quite a few verses, so I'll get a shift on. Probably won't have all the verses Daniel for this one though. I'm not sure. Have I mentioned? I've not mentioned Swansea.
I don't know, but I did say to John, if you did mention something wrong, you've had a very busy week. 2 late night lock-ins at Lincoln.
That's no excuse. I know Swansea's in Wales. I know that. Come on, give me some credit.
Do you want to tell them what you did with your hotel booking in Lincoln?
No, another time. Makes me exhausted even thinking about it.
Poor Richard booked the wrong week for his hotel. And then there weren't any rooms in Lincoln, so we had to drive a bit far the first night to find somewhere to stay. Poor Richard.
Yeah, I had nowhere to stay. When I realised I had nowhere to stay at, gone midnight. So the thought of sleeping in my car was crossing my mind. Luckily, I managed to get into bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, half an hour away from Lincoln. Anyway, I've just about recovered from that. Just about recovered. Anyway, so number 3 in Daniel's list is... Oh, heavens. Can you...
Sorry.
Please don't give me a heart attack.
Say hello to Daniel.
Step away from the Coke. Thank you. It's a little too close. Right, so number 3. This hymn is big in the Catholic Church. The hymn was composed by Gregory Norbert, who was a Benedictine monk. The text is beautiful and so is the tune. This one makes me cry. It's just so moving. I think you'll be humming this one. Okay. Oh, I hope I can play it right then. Oh no, it's one of those. It's one of those ones where it's funny repeats. So the refrain is there, then it goes 1.
Go back to the sign. There isn't a sign. Just back to the beginning.
2, 3.
And then on the refrain, look.
So
and verse 3, you skip the first.
So verse 3 is super short.
Yeah, looks like it.
Then go to there, then there. Right, okay. Okay, let's have a go. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this Swansea mystery. Beautiful hymn there, Daniel. Thank you very much. I was enjoying it so much that I gave you a very random extra line in the middle of that final verse, which I'm sure you noticed. Hopefully no one else did, though. So that was Come Back to Me with All Your Heart. Don't let fear keep us apart. Trees do bend, though straight and tall, so must we to others call. And the tune is called Hosi. It's by...
Oh, Bobby's back.
I'm just trying to find out who this hymn's by. Gregory Norbert, there it is. Music is Western Priory. Gorgeous. Thank you very much, Daniel. Right, number 2 in Daniel's list. Now this is why I didn't play this particular hymn earlier on, because it's in Daniel's list. It's a very well-known one. And it's another opportunity to show off the mutations and the quieter stops. It's Amazing Grace. So the tune, the usual tune, New Britain. I have loved this hymn for a long time. As you all know, my grandmother passed away in September. She picked Amazing Grace as one of her funeral hymns. Whoa, this hymn makes me emotional. This hymn is like a warm hug. It is verses 4 and 5 that hit home for me the most. Well, I will play it for you, Daniel, as soon as I don't have a cat on the organ.
Oh, don't.
See
There
what
was
I
a lot of
mean?
anxiety about that drink earlier, and I was trying to
Yes, well-
explain to people it's a custom-built console. The drink is not near the manuals, and it's not also near the pedals. This console has special nooks and crannies that have been built in. So they're going to get anxiety
Don't
now
listen to
about
her.
cat hair.
Don't listen to her.
They're going to get anxiety about cat hair in your contacts.
Well, let's have a go. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. The words are by the wonderful John Henry Newton. And it's, yeah, you'll all know this. You'll all be singing along, I'm sure. Let's get some of these nicer stops out. Well, this organ has lots of nice stops, of course, doesn't it? But where shall we start? Let's start there. Okay, hope you enjoy this. Well, it needs no introduction, doesn't it? You all know what that was. It was Amazing Grace. Going through some of the colours on this organ, including the reeds and the solo, the quiet reeds and the solo, using those actually as a secondary full swell, which is quite effective on this organ when coupled down to the swell. And then the quiet, the clarinet, the nazard on both the quiet and the great, and the flutes on top as well. Taking us into Daniel's number 1. This is actually a really popular tune here on VC. Does get requested a lot. I've had it before a few times, and I think we should have, just to celebrate this tune, give it the proper Noel Rawthorne treatment. So, Caroline, can you find me Nicaea, please? In there. It's not in my hymnal for some reason. I think it's 146 in the NEH. There it is. Let's give it the proper treatment. This is what Daniel says about it. Richard, here's how he starts it. You once asked us if we had to move to a desert island when we could take only one hymn with us, what would it be? Well, for me, it's Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty. I love the text, and whoa, Nicaea is a strong tune. Agree with you there. It's a great Trinity hymn. Yes, absolutely. It is cool that this hymn can be found in 1,576 different hymnals. To say this hymn is popular would be an understatement. Full enough, it's not in my hymnal. I will always love this hymn. Well, me too, Daniel, because as I've said before, this was the very first hymn that I ever played in public. So I remember it very well. I remember being very nervous and anxious, and having those butterflies in my tummy, which sometimes I still do get, but I would say I now get them for things which are further down the line, not necessarily for Nicaea. So let's have a go with this. So 3 verses, usual sort of harmony, and then we'll give it the full Rawthorne treatment in the final verse. Sorry about the mishap earlier on, by the way, but it's good to have some good, some strong numbers tonight. We're nearly at 300, but we've been around 300 for most of the VC tonight. So thank you very much, everyone, for your company. I do hope you're all well. I do hope you're all chatting away and having a great time. I can see some unknown names.
Yes, welcome to Per Tjernström. Tjernström, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Please
in
do.
In Sweden, I think, a new listener today. Hello.
You're very welcome indeed. Anyone who is new today, please do let us know that you're new. Please do let us know. We're very welcoming. Everyone, no matter where you are, what's your belief, what your style of music is, everyone's welcome. Let's go. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty.
Daniel says, it was worth the wait. This has made me very giddy. Richard is great, and so are you, as in me. I'm not really great, but thanks, Daniel. But Richard is great, and he got to see cats, so a win in Daniel's book.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm only great, which I'm not really. But let's just go with it for a sec. I'm only great because you're great. You, the audience, the people watching. A VC wouldn't be great. It's the whole thing. VC is made up of lots of things. It's made up of me, made up of this organ, it's made up of your selection of hymns, it's made up of Caroline, the cats, chat, organ music, hymns, waffle. It's made up of everything. All of those ingredients come together to make virtual church. And that's what's great. It's not just me, it's everyone pulling together to make a really cool, wonderful experience on a Sunday night. So thank you very much to you for watching and making it great. Daniel, a great list, so thank you very much for sending it through. Sorry that you've had to wait for months.
Well, we have a big list, don't we?
We have. We've got through the list pretty well. So actually now we need to I need to get more people sending them in. So I want people to send me through your top 5. So we're obviously in Lent. We're going to be in Holy Week very soon, and then Easter obviously as well. So I'd like at least three of you. One of you to send me a top 5 Lenten hymns, one of you to send me a top 5 Passiontide hymns, and then maybe, actually, Easter obviously as well, and perhaps could someone send me top 5 hymns for Palm Sunday? Because Palm Sunday is just around the corner as well, so lots of good hymns for Palm Sunday. Think outside the box, you know, are there any hymns that might not be the obvious choices? And then Easter as well. So we'll be Eastertide for quite a while. How long is Eastertide officially? Do you know? No, I don't know either. Anyway, so now we go into our live requests now. So this is where I hand it over to you. So you guys can request hymns and basically, well, hymns and organ music. I won't say anything because you'll end up coming back with Elton John and Elvis and all sorts.
Lex is another new listener.
Hello, Lex. Good to have you.
His favourite music is 150 Psalms. Wow.
It's the Psalm. Yeah, I love playing the organ for the Psalms. That's wonderful with a choir. There's nothing you can't beat playing a psalm.
Everyone noticed the purring cams, right? Not cam.
So Nick Knack has requested. I lift my eyes to the quiet hills.
Oh yes, that's in the Complete Anglican. Can we do another one for? I haven't got the Complete Anglican.
Come on, you're busy faffing around with the cat.
Pick another one, quick.
Well, I'm playing. What's going on? Come on, team.
Well, I've got Nala.
I'm the anchor, the news anchor. You know, I'm waiting for the
Hang on.
I'm waiting for the script to come on the screen to tell me what to say and what to do.
Hang on.
Oh, I don't know, guys. Oh, I can play Gregory Potter's hymn.
Well, can you? I
can. Look, it's there. I can place it there. So Gregory Potter has requested 40 Days and 40 Nights, which is a very good, obviously a Lenten hymn. But we normally have a different version of the different harmony. I can't remember who did it, but he was very specific and he wanted the William Monk version. So we will have that now. See how it differs to the normal version. Looks largely the same, just without the passing notes, I suppose. Let's have a go. So 40 Days and 40 Nights for Gregory Potter.
Ian Garden has put us right about the duration of Easter. 40 days to commemorate the time the resurrected Jesus remained on earth before departing, the period between Easter Day and the Ascension. Of course, we did know that. We just couldn't think in the heat of the moment. So it ends on Ascension Day, Eastertide. 40 days.
It's Ascension. No, 40 days is Lent.
Yeah, but Eastertide is also 40 days.
So what, 80 days then?
Well, no, Lent.
Lent is 40 days.
And then Eastertide is another 40.
So 80.
Well, in total. But Lent and Easter are a bit different, aren't they?
I didn't know Easter was 40 days as well as Lent. And
Wait, you knew it ended at Ascension Day, didn't you?
I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to get that right in an exam question. No, I didn't know that actually.
Well, there we go. And he's a lay canon, so he definitely knows.
I completely trust Ian Garden to get that right. But no, I didn't know Easter finished at Ascension Tide. It makes sense that it does.
I think I did know
Ascension
that.
is the next major feast after Easter, of course. But
Here we
I
are.
don't know whether there's anything.
Knickknacks request.
Oh, there we go. So is Ascension always 40 days after Easter?
Oh, I'm guessing so, if that's what Ian's saying.
I'm asking a genuine question here. I'm sure there are people in the chat who also don't know the answer to that question. I like to ask the questions that no one else dares ask because they will feel foolish. I've always been that person. If I don't understand something, I'll ask. That's how you don't get anywhere in life without... you don't get anywhere in life pretending to know things because you'll be caught out. Anyway, I'm still waiting to be caught out by playing the organ. Imposter syndrome is called. What am I doing? Knick-knack, am I?
Yes.
Oh, there it is. I was looking at the wrong page. I lift my eyes to the quiet hills in the press of a busy day. As green hills stand in a dusty land, so God is my strength and stay. I think we have had this. Someone just donated 1 million channel memberships.
Jerry.
Oh, Jerry, thank you very much for your 10. Those ice cubes seem to be dropping. I'm sure there's more than 10 in there that came through. They were going for ages. But anyway, Jerry, thank you very much for that. Did any of you fall out of the tip jar? There we go. Kathleen and Andy have said another 40 days.
And Andrew.
There we go. I didn't know that. Is there a biblical reason why Easter is also 40 days? Another question which might sound obvious, but don't know the answer to it, so I'm going to ask it. What's the reason? What's the context behind 40 days in Eastertide then? Do you know the answer to that?
I don't know.
Well, there you go.
It cancels out the 40 days in the wilderness.
I don't think that's the reason. If we don't know the answer to that, then I'm sure there are, 286 people watching? How many people in the chat don't know the answer to that question? Why are there 40 days in Eastertide? Coincidence? Or just... I
think we need to look at Acts chapter 1, verse 3.
I'm playing this hymn now for Knick-knack, so I can't read and play at the same time. Well, I can, but I can't read a Bible passage and understand it. Anyway, come on, let's go. Enough waffle. Thank you very much, Dick Knack, for sending that one through. Words there by one of my favourite writers of hymns, Timothy Dudley Smith. And music by Michael Bourne and Elizabeth Crocker. Gorgeous, thank you very much. Where are we up to now?
We're next going to Carmen Foster, a hymn called Yield Not to Temptation. I think if you check your emails, our lovely producer tonight, James, thank you very much.
Thank you, James.
Has emailed it to you.
It's very helpful.
It should be right there.
Let me just get it. Here we go.
Sounds like a very good Lenten hymn, Yield Not to Temptation. Sounds very seasonal.
Who's this coming from?
Carmen Foster.
Carmen requests a lot. So thank you very much, Carmen, for your requests and for your donations. I'm very grateful for that. He says, Richard, do you know? Oh, Richard, do you know? Yield not to temptation. Well, no, I don't. This is an oldie, but a goodie. Most hymns are oldies, aren't they? Oh, what should we use? Let's use the choir trumpet. I like that stop. It's quite a useful stop, actually. Let's see what it sounds like. Which angle should we go for? Let's go for a multi. Is that right?
They loved it. Carmen was loving it. Methodist memories, said Dave.
I didn't know it.
No, I didn't either.
The Methodist one, is it?
Well, that's what Dave said, yeah.
There is an interesting chord. I suppose it's actually quite an obvious chord, but written, I don't know why, but the F sharp is written as a G flat. So a chord of D major becomes sort of a weird diminished chord. Oh, people were enjoying it. That's good.
Right, the final hymn comes. Well, so final requested hymn comes in from Eileen.
Oh, is that the final requested hymn? Is that all there is? Oh, people haven't been requesting this week.
Yes, but Nala's requested one actually to come after this one.
Oh, right. Go on then.
But Eileen, who was I think very amused about the Liverpool FC chat earlier,
Right.
Eileen has requested any words to the tune Aberystwyth.
Okay. We can do that one, can't we, Nala? Nala is here right now, so we'll have Sing we of the Blessed Mother, who received the angel's word, and obedient to his summons, bore in love the infant Lord. Sing we of the joys of Mary, at whose breast that child was fed, who is the Son of God eternal, and the everlasting bread. To the tune, as Caroline has just said, Aberystwyth by Cyril Taylor. And we need to have an organ voluntary tonight, so if anyone would like a particular organ piece tonight, a Lenten organ piece perhaps. But I've got a cheeky toccata up my sleeve that I could play. If I don't get any if I don't get any requests for a relevant, good organ piece, I'll play that toccata. Or, I'll play that as well if you want it. Depends what you want. VC is run by you guys, not just me. Sorry about the streaming issues again. It's very odd. I don't know why, but I think the software might be running out of buffer or something. Don't worry, I'll sort it out for next week, and I'll get the camera fixed for next week, so we shouldn't have any more issues. Right, was that the final requested hymn? Caroline's just run off. I think she couldn't cope anymore. Jesu meine Freude, 227. Ooh, I don't know 227. I know Jesu meine Freude from the Orgelbuchlein. Howell's Rhapsody number 1. We had that fairly recently. Anything else? I'll tell you what. I'll play this cheeky toccata that I mentioned earlier. A cheeky toccata. No one can resist a cheeky toccata. Nobody can resist a cheeky toccata. It's on the hymn tune Aberystwyth. Geez, you lover of my soul. You all know that. And it's a toccata by David Bednall. So it's fantastic, actually. I've not played this for a bit. It's very exciting. Hopefully I can still play it. Let's see what happens. So, final piece tonight is a toccata on Aberystwyth. Let me just make sure. We've got so Pear has become a member. Thank you very much. As has Alpha. Robert. Robert, thank you very much. That's very kind. Thank you so much. Good chappy. James has become a member as well. And Jerry for your donation of 10 memberships. So that's very kind. Final voluntary then tonight. Toccata on the hymn tune Aberystwyth, or Jesu lover of my soul. This will blow your socks off. I'll blow your ears off. It's pretty cool, this. Enjoy. Well, that is cheeky indeed. That's
Is that David Bednall's?
Toccata on the hymn tune Aberystwyth by David Bednall, born in 1979, a composer living over in Bristol, here in England, and it's perfect for a sort of after Eucharist, just to wake people up.
I was at university with David Bednall. He was doing his PhD in composition.
Yeah, he's a good composer. He's a really good composer. He writes a lot of good choral music.
Robert Salisbury is in. He's listening from the gym today. Oh. And
don't make me feel bad, Robert. Oh God, I need to do that.
He left a very, very generous donation.
I know, I said thank you.
And
he has.
Prior to that, actually, I think it got missed because it wasn't with his donation.
Yep.
He requested Just As I Am. So I wondered if we might finish with that.
Should we end on a quiet note?
Why not?
I've got it on my. I think I've got it on my thing.
If not, I can find it for you in here.
I think I've got it in here.
Just as I.
Saffron and Royal.
Saffron Walden.
Walden even. Royal came from, yes. Okay, well there are actually only 3 verses in here. I think there are more than 3 verses, aren't there? There's 6. I'll give you 6 verses, Robert. And we'll end with this. So this is sort of an aperitif, a palate cleanser, just to send us on our way this week. It's been a really wonderful selection of hymns tonight, so thank you very much for requesting them all. Sorry about the stream issues tonight. I hope we'll have them fixed by next week. Well, we will, because I won't be using that camera. So thank you for sticking with me. So just as I am, without one plea, but that your blood was shed for me, to the tune Saffron Walden, for Robert Salisbury, who has been very generous, very, very generous, and Robert's generosity brings benefit to us all, because from donations like that, it means I can purchase cameras like these working ones. So thank you very much, Robert, and everyone else who has contributed tonight and other times as well. But just as I am. Let's go for mutations. One. And then, oops. So next Saturday, by the way, I'll be giving a live organ recital on a brand new sample set. Not Piotr Grabowski's. Brand new sample set. So I'm very excited about that. That's next Saturday, 8 o'clock UK time. That's BST, I think. Are we in BST or GMT?
We're not BST until the 26th of March.
There we go, so we're in GMT. So 8 o'clock next week, usual sort of BIS time, live organ recital on a brand new sample set.
Yes, apparently the Americans, some of the Americans anyway, their time changes next week, but no, in the UK we are a bit later. So don't be confused.
What Caroline just said. She knows more about that thing than I do. There we go. Beautiful way, I think, to send it out on our way for another week. So as I said, yes, a live organ recital next Saturday, not on an organ by Piotr Grabowski, by somebody else. I will announce it during the week. And it will be a French-themed organ recital because it's very much a French-themed organ. And it's not one that has appeared on BIS, so it's brand new. Can't wait to get to know that this week. So I will now say thank you very much to James Palmer, who has been our producer this evening. Thank you very much, James, for keeping an eye on all the requests and sending them through. It's very useful having a very small team of producers behind the scenes. So can you all please give James a clapping emoji? That'd be much appreciated. Thank you to Caroline as well for helping behind the scenes with capturing hymns and keeping me going.
Just a quick reminder, a couple of requests for next week coming in. Please can you request for next week in the BIS request form, which if you click the description of this video, there's a link to it.
There is.
Yeah, it's all very self-explanatory once you click the link.
It is, it's quite a straightforward
anything just
form.
in the chat now, we probably won't remember for next week.
So it has to go into the request form, otherwise it probably will get lost, unfortunately.
And a couple of people requested stuff tonight to be played tonight. Unfortunately, we can't do things live on the night without a donation just because we have so many requests. But you do not need to donate to request ahead of time. So if you want to request something for next week, there is no donation needed.
Absolutely. And finally, to say that you can vote for your favourite hymn for next week. So what was your favourite hymn tonight out of all of the hymns that we've had? Go back and have a listen to them and then leave a comment on this video. What was your favourite hymn? And then we'll open next week's Virtual Church with the winner.
Bobby would like to tell everybody that the 30-year-old dog, who lives in Portugal, by the way, and is a Portuguese breed with an average life expectancy of 12 to 14 years, is called Bobby. The oldest dog in the world is called Bobby.
Who told you that?
Google.
Google told you that?
Well, the Guinness Book of Records website did.
Bobby.
B-O-B-I. Bobby from Portugal.
Have we told people that we're actually calling our Bobby Blobby now? Because she is a bit blobby. She's turning into a blob. Getting a bit lazy, but like her father. Anyway, I've got a bike arriving tomorrow, so I'm hoping to go out and actually get some exercise done. I am running, by the way. I'm trying to run 3 times a week.
Your first trip on the bike is to the camera repair shop.
Yeah, exactly. The first trip on my bike is to go and spend more money, more BIS money. Oh dear, well, we need it because we need to have that camera working, don't we? The camera works, it's just the HDMI connection, by the way. Anyway, so until next week, thanks for watching. Take care, you stay safe, and we will say cheerio. Goodbye, everyone. I'm going to press my end button. Hopefully it works. Bye-bye.